I'm getting a glitch. Hold on a second. For some reason, this happens sometimes whenever I start the show. What is up, everybody? Hello there, fellow collectors. Welcome back to the Collector Tour. It is episode 15 already. Can't believe it. I am here with a special guest, L8tbloomr. What is up, man? How are you doing on this fine Monday evening, bro?
Hello, everyone. Hello, chat. Evil Sneaker, thank you again. When you're talking a little bit backstage, just thank you for the thoughts and bringing me on. So excited to get on here and talk with my fellow collectors and talk a little bit of six scale. Let's do it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, really. Yeah, like we kind of talk about backstage. I'm like kind of reaching out to people in the community, getting some other people on. I've seen your stuff. I've seen you like on a couple channels. I know, like, I think right after, like, you know, I was unable to go on Copper Drop consistently. I think that's when Joey started like pulling on guests. I know you're on Joey's channel. That's kind of when I probably like first, I think, saw you like on a show. And then I think you're over on like Six Scale Mafia sometimes.
Yeah, it kind of just started happening.
Then I started
like,
seeing
boom,
you
boom,
kind
boom,
of
boom.
going places, going to different shows and stuff like that. So very cool. But yeah, man, really happy to have you on, and looking forward to, you know, what you have to say.
Yeah.
Also, I appreciate you stopping by some of my stuff. I know I did like this Spider-Man 2 Peter Parker unboxing. I know you were there when I was unboxing that figure. That figure's crazy, dude.
Yeah, we talked to like nauseum about it in chat.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch that, go back after the show. Go back and check that because the figure is amazing. We both have it. We're twins in that aspect now. So please go check that out. It was an awesome show to be a part of.
Yeah, that was like, because like that was my second Spider-Man figure. So like, yeah, Miles was my first one that I've ever seen. Like I've seen a couple in person, but like to actually like unbox one and like have the experience and actually have one in hand and like mess with the articulation and stuff, like Miles was my first one. So it's kind of like a new experience for me opening up these two Spider-Man figures.
Yeah, and you have like, it's a short list of Spider-Man that come with the iron legs or the iron arms, if you will. I think it's like we have about 4 that we've had, maybe, and technically maybe the anti-ock, but that wasn't things that you could plug on his back. But I think we've had about maybe 4 or 5 of those, and those ones in particular are the largest we've had. Like integrated, be damned. What else? The Iron Spider from just the MCU, be damned. The Iron Spider from the video game VGM line. Like those legs, maybe those are might be the closest. But those arms on that Advanced Suit 2.0, if you play the game, you already know. But those things are large, man. Like,
they definitely are like getting the scale right on the, like, compared to the game.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you know, when Venom was announced, we like, everybody's like, oh, he's too big. I'm like, the dude is to scale.
Yeah, he's literally like they got it 1-to-1.
I was like, I want this to be like what the game is like, you know, for these figures. So yeah, I'm really happy with the legs. Yeah, they surprised me. I was also really happy with like the articulation of those.
Yes, and they can support really Spider-Man. They literally can hold him up. If you work on a good pose, it can hold him up. I was trying to get, you know, I don't want to take too long on this, but I was trying to get, there's a move that Spider-Man does in a game where it's like an ability where he uses the legs like clench onto the ground, and he uses that momentum to like kind of lift everybody up in the air. And so I wanted to see if I can get the spider legs to like invert and then go behind Spider-Man so he could be up and, you know, be kind of like cradled by the legs. If you know what I'm saying. It might sound like gobbledygook, but
play the game.
It's really play the game. You'll understand what I'm saying. Really cool stuff with that figure.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. Okay, enough of the. I could keep going on and on about that. I'm only like 40. I'm guessing you already did like completed the game. You said, right?
Oh yes,
100%. 100% of the game, right? Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, I'm like 40% in. I'm like 40% in.
Take your time.
Yeah, take my sweet time.
Don't be like me. You know, I ate it up, and I'm pretty sure there's a few other webheads out there that ate that up. You know, first weekend. But you know, take your time.
No doubt. Yeah, when I have time. But let's get into it, bro. Let's address the chat here real quick. Let me pull this banner up. Just a little bit of housekeeping here. Let me make sure that this thing is working. I got in the banner your name, and then down in the description below I got Bloomer's tags to his Instagram, or his links to his Instagram and his YouTube as well down there. So please go check out his stuff on YouTube and Instagram. Let's get to who's in here. Brick Artemis is in the house first. He is here. What up, Brick? Thank you for tuning in, brother.
Mr. Lego, what's good?
Yeah, Mr. Lego. Some guy always supporting everybody's channel. He's around. What's up, my favorite people? Smash that like
Definitely.
button and subscribe. Yes, subscribe to Sneaker with the shoe. Yes, please, guys.
That's so dope.
Please hit that like button. That really helps me out. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm at 440 subs, on my way to 500. I'm getting close. Also getting pretty close to like channel membership, so it's getting exciting on that front. But I am going to be doing a couple of giveaways for 500 subs, and one of them's well, they're going to be like, one of them's going to be a pretty big one. They're going to all be good, but one of them is going to be a pretty big one. So I will get to that as we get closer to that number. But a little sneak peek, it's going to be a nice giveaway. So please help me get to 500 subs. That'd be greatly appreciated. Eclectic Collector is in the house. What up, everyone? What up to you, bro? Bloomer in the house. Yes, let's go. Nick's Collectibles in the house. Up, y'all. Nick, what is up, dude?
What's up?
I am looking forward to that OSW 16 Mania. I can't wait for the reschedule, man. I know like last night's show didn't go according to plan. With that being said, you can tell like the production quality is like really well done and everything. And like I was laughing really hard when I heard like some of the stuff, like the niche promo. I was laughing. So yeah, I'm excited to see 16 Mania once that is ready to go again. Collector Joey must have heard his ears ringing. He is in the house. Oh yeah, let's go. What is up, Joey? Thank you for tuning in, bro. Christian Cooper, always here supporting the channel. What's up, guys? What is up to you, sir? Tristan is in the house. What up, fam? What is up, bro? I know he was just at, I think it was LA Comic Con. Sent me some cool photos from there. So yeah, dude, welcome into the show. Thank you for the support. Reese is in the house. What's good, boys? Reese, aka the Mall Fiend. What is up, dude? Thank you for being here. Good old Spotchka. How's it going, everyone? What is up, Spotchka? Appreciate you tuning into the show, bro. I need to get this dude on one of my streams. I miss Spotchka. Nick says, "Don't worry, bro. We won't let Niche win." Yes, that is right. That is right. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's get the show started here, and we'll talk about some other stuff later on. The first question, Late Bloomer, that I like to ask everybody who comes on the show, the very first question is, can you recall the moment that you knew you were going to be a collector? Whatever that means to you, it doesn't necessarily have to be 6 scale. You can kind of talk about that if you want, but just like collecting in general, when did you think that was going to become a thing for you?
So I don't want to be too long-winded on this one specifically.
No, dude, whatever you want to
do. But in the years prior to coming to 6 scale, I was collecting manga. I was just reading books, man. Just anything from Dragon Ball Z, the stuff that I grew up with. You know, I was born in '94, so everything that I grew up with, like Lupin the Third, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, some of the biggest stuff, One Piece, all of this stuff that I grew up with. I was just like, you know, the pandemic and those Trump checks came up, so I was just like, let me go ahead and grab a bunch of books. So grabbed a bunch of books, and I was enjoying it, and I was loving it, and the same thing that I was doing there kind of translated to when I actually got over to 6 scale, because I had to move, and I moved to a different location, different city. The place that I was at currently, you know, that was our home for like, you know, 20 some odd years, but it was just I never could have imagined me collecting there. Just the way that, you know, mail came, we was off on just a dirt road, bro. So like the way that the mail came, it was just like we were the last people to get our mail most of the time. And that would drive me crazy if I was collecting now, like collecting stuff over there. Yeah, no. So coming here, and I have more space, it made it conducive for that. And dude, I got these new, when I moved into this room, I saw these bookcases. I was like, all right, cool, I can put all my manga there. And I put my manga there, and I was just like, the next stop was like, well, it would be cool to get like a little, you know, a little toy here, a little something like that to just decorate. And then I went looking for Transformers, because I was just like, oh man, let me get a Transformer. That'd be cool. It kind of remind me of my childhood. F it, let's go. go for the Transformers, and then that's when I started to see what 3 does, right? And I was like, oh wow, like $200 $300 for you out of your mind, you got to be kidding me.
Yep.
So the sticker shock hit early. I was just like, hell no, I would never do that. That's just no. um but I was able to kind of get like a little Mafex figures or Mafex figures, a little stuff like that to kind of hold me over, but that didn't like that just wasn't like scratching that itch for me. Then I
Yep.
started to see other like 6 scale reviews and collections. And like I hinted at earlier with the manga, I would go and look at other people's collections and tours, and that just kind of skirted over to 6 scale. It's just like, all right, let's see this person's tour, let's see this person's collection, and then that would just give me ideas. And I started to think like, well, maybe I could do it. And, a lot of personal stuff had happened where, a person, close to me and the family had passed away, and I received an inheritance essentially. So I had quite a bit of money to kind of bypass that sticker shock that I had felt previously. And so that kind of just made me want to go ahead and jump in. And so, for those wondering, my first Hot Toys figure was Cyborg Spider-Man. Very off kilter, I know,
Nice.
but it was Cyborg Spider-Man was my first Hot Toys figure. And I think, to kind of put a bundle in that question, I think the moment I knew I was a collector was when I got my first case. Like like this case right here that's closest to you was my first case. And when I got that and spent the money and ate that, my wallet took that and ate it. And I was sitting there putting all the figures in the case once it came in. That's when I realized, I was like, okay, I'm going for it here. Wherever it takes me, it takes me. But you can consider this a collection at that point.
Yep. Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, very cool. I wouldn't have expected that as your first figure, but hey, man.
Yeah, me
That's
neither.
yep, yeah, that's how it goes. That's cool though. So you kind of like started just sprinkling stuff in here and there, and then like kind of just like traveled along the path into what 6 scale is, and yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it was just the binge watching of other people's content.
Yep,
We
yep.
all know the popular stuff that is, if you type in Hot Toys, you know the names that come up. And I was just like, just eating all the content I
Yep.
could. Just like, what did they make a figure of this? Did they make a figure of that? Like, and then I was just typing it in. I find it, and
Oh, you
I
went
was just
searching.
having, it was just entertainment. It wasn't like, as that got on and then I got my first figure, that was, part of like the regimen or the routine. But before then, before I even got my first figure, it was just entertainment. I was like, this is fun. Let me watch this video. And I was just watching them, watching them, watching them. And then I guess I want to add to that was, outside of getting that my first, DTOF, if you will, or case, it was the late night scrolling on Sideshow and eBay and Mercari. That's what I was like, oh,
Oh
it's
yeah.
got me. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm here now. That was the two things that helped me realize, I'm like, yeah, this is something that's just not a fad, and I'm here to stay for the time being, at least
Yeah.
as far as I can see.
Start doing the regular research on the stuff.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, very cool, man. Very cool. Collector Joey says, I did not know Bloomer was older than me.
Oh, he a baby then.
Yeah, he is. He is a baby for sure. Spotchka misses us too. Good to be here. Yes, yes. Happy to see you,
Yes,
bro.
sir, man.
Doc Bat is in the house. Or Subboys. What is up, bro? Thank you for tuning in as always. Yes, great answer, man. Let's move on to the
Hmm.
next question here. Can you tell a story of one of your most memorable collecting moments?
Interesting. I have one. I think I may have two, but I'll start with this one because it just comes to mind very quickly, and it's fairly recent. So was chilling in the chat, in a Discord chat with several friends of mine, and it was the night that Hobie Brown, Miles G. Morales, and I think the black suit, the symbiote suit from Spider-Man 3 dropped. Like, that was like a magical night. I was just like, didn't expect it. and we're sitting, chatting, shooting shit about figures already, kind of looking at our watches like, this is Hot Toys supposed to drop, and then they drop boom, 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 and it was just like bedlam. So that was like, and for me to be, as big as a Spider-Man fan that I am, that was like, holy crap, like we're getting
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I was screaming from the mountaintops, hoping we get a Hobie Brown, just seeing all the good stuff we've got from Into the Spider-Verse already. And so I was just hoping that Across the Spider-Verse would bear the same, if not better, fruit. And we see already it already is. So
Yeah, they dropped, I remember that. They just dropped so much stuff all at once for that
so
during
much,
that.
and none
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that's
that was
Gwen
wild.
Stacy, by the way, but a bunch of stuff. But none of it is, Spider Gwen. But again, that was like a night to remember. Just a bunch of stuff just dropping.
Yeah.
And then maybe something like, I think physically, getting in for me was, um, it. I think it was the getting the classic suit Spider Man. So I already had gotten the some of the movie suits and some of the VGM suits. But getting that classic suit, and I got it for a deal. I told the person, like, keep the base. I already had like 6 or 7 Spider-Man. So it's like, keep the base and you can keep all the extra stuff. Just give me the guy and the hands and the eyes. I'll take it. And he gave me a couple other things, like the little, I think a newspaper came with them, or
Oh, very cool.
some other little knickknacks that came in that assortment for the classic suit. But I ended up getting that for $200, and maybe it was the price that also helps, but it's still like, it's classic suit Spider-Man.
I
Like
need one.
it is, honestly, you'll tell the difference too between the vinyl that they're using for uh the advanced suits 2.0 for Miles and Peter versus what the VGM has used. And so if any of you guys in the chat have the integrated suit, or the integrated suit, or even the Miles 1.0, or what else, I'm kind of like looking at them as, yeah, even the TASM 2, Andrew Garfield, they use a kind of a thinner wrapping, or just a thinner vinyl. And back in the day, it was a little bit more chunkier, just depending on what the suit. And also on top of that, you had the muscle suit that go underneath it. And so it would just make it a little bit more chunkier to pose, harder to pose these figures. And so they've, in the last few Spider-Man figures, that they've reduced the chest padding, so you can get that crunch. You can get down in there. That leg can get up a little higher than it normally did with the VGM line. So
Nice. That's
I
good to
think
know.
it was the classics. Yeah, the classic suit was like, man, this is just like, I can do so many things with this. I can do comic book poses and or recreations and things like that. So I think it was those two moments right there was like, I know Spider related, obviously, but it's what's got me here.
Yeah,
Spider-Man is
big
what
fan,
got
and
me
yep,
here.
yep, no doubt, dude. So it's memorable, right? Yep,
Yeah.
it's what you like, and yeah, that's awesome. I need a classic suit. I don't know if I'm like, we'll see what happens with this limited, like inspired one.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
see. We're like that. I'll like, yeah, I need a classic suit Spider-Man at this point now. I'd
Yeah,
love to
I
get
would
one.
say at this
Um,
point, that one might be your
yeah,
best bet. I mean,
I
if
really
that
like the
depends,
PS4 one
if
though.
you like the light blue, Spider-Man with the red, go for that, because that's a good representation. But if you like the Amazing Fantasy 15 cover, right, with the navy blue on the panels there, then you might want to go with that, or you might want to go with TASM 2 Spider-Man, or even Tobey Maguire, because they have the navy blue. And that, I left that out because that's a moment that's yet to happen. I think that will trump, once that comes in, I think that will trump one of those moments I presented. But for
Yeah,
now,
it's gonna
those
be.
two for
I know
sure.
there's so many options, so many options.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
What's your favorite Spider-Man? I never get jaded with that conversation, and people like to, especially in this day and age, it's like when we're having some sort of discourse, like, we have to put down this person in order for this person to be propped up. When at the end of the day, they're all within the umbrella of whether it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever competitive sport, whatever you may want to put this into context. They're all serving for the art, the sanctity of the art of their game, their craft,
Yeah.
and it's Spider-Man. Like, like
Yeah.
I'm just sitting back, like, yeah, Spider-Man wins.
Yeah.
You can say
Yeah, for real.
Toby,
It
you can
doesn't
say
really matter.
Toby, you can say
Yeah.
Tom, you can say Andrew. I'm just looking back. Spider-Man wins
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. It's good. It's nice to be able to have an argument about one character who you think's the best and one who you think is the best for one character that has done so well through different variations and different actors and different moments that you even have the ability to have that argument, right? I think that's important when it comes to like
Listen,
a character being like important and a fan favorite character.
yeah, Batman and Superman, they're from the 30s. Okay, they're literally from the 30s. Spider-Man came around in mid or early 60s. Okay, and he's eclipsing them. He's eclipsing them. Those are America's characters. And Spider-Man, they had almost a 25-year head start, and he's eclipsing them. I think that just goes to show you how popular Spider-Man is. He's massive.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how popular, like some characters get. It is
Yeah.
it's wild for sure. Yeah, very cool. Very cool, man. Brick is laughing at Mr. Lego. Um yeah, such a good game. He's talking about the Spider-Man games, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Then Daniel Brancato is in the house. Hello, hello everyone. What is
Yo.
up, Daniel? Thank you for tuning in, bro. Always good to see you in the chat. Philip the Fool is here as well. What's up, fellas? He's
What
got the
up, Sway?
Spidey logo.
Yeah.
What is up, bro? Thank you for tuning into the show. And also he was at my last unboxing video as well. So I appreciate him tuning into that show as well. So thank you for being here, man. Good to see some newer faces in the chat for sure. Let's get on to the next question here. So usually like kind of like talking about you as a collector, but I have some other, just like the one question I like to throw in as far as figures go. Do you have a top 3 and do you have a number 1 figure in your collection?
Mm.
I feel like it's tough to answer.
This is always tough because you want to make sure that your figures are not listening, and as you guys can see, I can't really whisper too loudly. But what I will say is, I do have a 3, and I think the 3 consists of I would say number 3 is the battle damaged 85. It's just out of the camera, just below the camera here, but battle damage 85 is fantastic. I mean, it's Iron Man. It's the moment, if you will, for me at least. I mean, there's multiple. If you're an Iron Man lover, there's like many and multiple moments, but him snapping, um, Thanos and bringing us back, basically saving the world, saving the galaxy with the snap. That's the moment.
Yeah.
Number 2 would have to be, and this was tough. Because I have like a 2A and a 2B, but I still struggle with this. It's the 2A is the Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales. It's just the perfect Spider-Man figure in my opinion. Next to Scarlet Spider, it's the perfect Spider-Man figure in 6 scale. Like you can do anything with those guys and just be cool. All right. You can be there for 3 months and I'm fine with you posing like that. The rest of them you're like, "Oh, okay. How long has it been? All right, let's go ahead and put them back in
Yep,
museum
switch it
pose.
up.
Switch it up." And then yeah, of course, it would have to be the premier piece would be the Carnage from the movie. So you guys can see him just a little bit above my
Damn you.
head here. But it's just the presence, man.
Yeah, man, that
If
figure's so
any of you have them
badass.
out there, uh it when you get them in, this is not a 6 scale. This is not your normal 6 scale unboxing experience.
Mhm.
I'll put it that way. When you get them in, first of all, it's just a little different protocol of how you open the box, right? Open the box, and then the box has like literally a plastic case on the lid itself with all the attachments for his arms and things like that. Boom, on the box, and then the figures on, in the actual plastic shell on the right side. So I've never had that with any other 6 scale. Is like, you had to slide out, and you'll take that, the DX has a slide out, and you'll pull that off, and that's cool. But like that was very, very specific, and for what is my first time with something that large, was crazy in terms of just the overall experience. And then trying to figure out where I was going to put him in the shelf was a whole other thing. Can I fit him inside? And I was like, nope, can't do that, especially if I want to do the symbiotes attached to, or the little symbiote arms attached to his back. If I want to do that, I'm gonna need space for that. So that's why he's
Yeah.
ended up going up top there, and that's where a lot of my uh bigger pieces will go that I, don't mind getting a little dust on.
He looks so cool with that. He actually looks really cool with Spidey too up there. Just
Yeah, I
yeah.
got him and Cyborg, they're getting down with him.
It's crazy even from like this view, like from it being like, I know it's not too far away, but like
Mhm.
you can like, I can clearly see that that's Carnage up there.
You can
It's
see his
crazy,
carnage,
man.
and you can see that it's massive. Like,
Yep.
even just on my not so good camera, you can see
Yep.
how that thing is massive, man.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely it would be those. Oh, I forgot my 2B. And my 2B is Moon Knight.
Yeah, dude.
He is just, it's just the all white, it's the presence. And also it's the best cape that they've done. Superman be damned, Batman be damned. Even Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, uh, Vision as well. Be damned. All of their, yeah, trash compared to this cloak right here for him is fantastic. You can pose it any way you want. You can put it in
Yep.
a corner. You want to have it nice and like just billowing off a corner. Have that like that air effect, like it's really getting brushed by with a nice little gust of wind. You can really work that, and
Yeah,
I
dude.
think that's the future for capes going forward,
I
for
hope
Hot
so.
Toys. It's like, get it as good as this one, and it's perfect. As far outside of that, figure is perfectly well put together, I want to say. As far as the materials that is used on it, doesn't stick. When you look at it, you think like, man, if that thing gets hot, it might stick, because it just has a nice, like, it's really hard to explain what they did there. I think it's vinyl. I know the pants for sure are vinyl,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm not
couldn't tell
sure.
either like what the material actually is.
Yeah, I'm not sure about his arms and the actual, like, mummy, like, toilet
Yep.
paper material. Like, I'm
Yep.
not quite sure what that is, but it looks like it sticks, but it doesn't. And if you have good climate control as well, you can keep that from happening. But the eyes light up, and he has the moon display and the moon rings, if you will. It's a lot of stuff that goes to that figure, and I've really enjoyed it being in my collection. I don't know if it's more so knowing the fact that after I purchased it from Sideshow, that it like went on waitlist. Like, as soon as a friend of mine got it, and then myself got it, and then I went back. Somebody told me, I didn't even go. Like, somebody said, "Oh, it's waitlist." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Okay,
Yep.
it must have been like 20 people that decided, like, yeah, I'm getting that right now, because it just went in stock over at Sideshow. Like, this was like back in July, I want to
Yeah.
say.
And then it went, I remember it
It
went
just
quick.
went quick, man. So yeah,
Yep.
those are like my, top three, four-ish figures.
Yeah, that Moon Knight was like I wasn't even really gonna get Moon Knight for a while, but I got just like a really killer deal on him. And yeah, like I would say the same thing about the cape. It's crazy how like many like you can move it like barely move it and it'll stay. Like you can move
Yes,
it wherever you want and the thing will stay.
yes.
It's crazy how they made it. Like how like you can put
And
like
you
yeah,
almost,
just
like, when you
insane
deal with
detail.
wires like that, you would think they break. You think they're brittle. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like
excuse me, like,
strong,
this
holds
one's
it. Yeah,
strong.
holds it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And like you can just like you said, do like really subtle things with it. You can like change it. You can put it in really like any realistic style pose really that you want with it. It's very, yeah, it's very cool. I was surprised when I got that. Like it looked amazing from, seeing it everywhere because everybody's saying, "Oh, it's my favorite figure that I've like favorite figure of the year." Everybody's like
Hmm.
taking pictures of it and like it looks so good in pictures. And then in hand, like it even takes it to another level too. But yeah, just like a figure I was really happy with.
I cannot.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys are doing the top 10 and like incorporating Marvel, and I have to like split it. That's how it's been for me this year. It's like I've gotten a lot
Yeah.
of good stuff, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of good
So
stuff,
much coming out.
Marvel. I think did I get anything else DC? Nope. I think all of my DC stuff came like last year because it's not a whole lot
And there's a bunch
DC
that's
out.
gonna be dropping. Like, they announce
Yes.
all this other stuff, the Flash
Supergirl.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I want
Supergirl.
her.
Yep. Yep.
But
A
yeah,
lot of that stuff coming.
those top 10 lists are going to be interesting. I can't wait for those. I know they're starting to like sprinkle out now, but I can't wait for
Yep.
those.
Yep. Top figures of the year. Yeah, it's that time of year. People are gonna start dropping that stuff. I guess maybe wait and see because we're definitely gonna be getting some more stuff here in this month.
Yeah, I
It's
think
gonna
that's what
be happening.
everybody's waiting on is,
Yep.
waiting for that last like shoe to drop, and then they can kind of make their videos, and we can make our content from there, cuz right now it's still people are still waiting on stuff. Like I would love to have I have stuff that I paid off that I know was in the continental US, but somehow Sideshow hasn't, got their allotment. They are I think Sideshow is waiting. This is what I was told. Sideshow is like waiting for more allotment for a lot of these figures that have dropped already that you see elsewhere in the United States and see elsewhere. People have them in their hands, but Sideshow hasn't sent it out. They're probably waiting for more batches to be pushed
Yeah,
out
like
to
they're
them.
batch
So
shipping some of this stuff so they
yeah,
don't over
they're
purchase some.
exactly
It
that's
makes
what they're
sense.
doing.
It makes sense for them to like, if they have the ability to purchase more, why not purchase less at first and get them all out and make sure that people actually want it? You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
got to
it
crack
makes
the
it makes
market that
sense
way.
from a business
Yeah.
standpoint. It just
Sucks for collectors.
it sucks for I want to say sucks for always the consumer. The
Yeah.
consumer is always the first one to take a hit in anything that a corporation decides to do, a manager decides to do. The consumer is always the one that's like yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with it. That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
my opinion. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. We've got quite a few things. We know there's murmurings about bat cycles and Batmans and Mins
Yeah.
that have been delayed or not delayed, and payments have been pushed up or pushed back. So there's a lot of stuff. We know that the bat cycle is out in the wild, but yet we don't have a official post from
Yep.
Hot Toys. So there's a lot of stuff that's just out there, and I'm just kind of intrigued to see how they navigate through. That doesn't stop them from announcing stuff though at all,
Yeah.
as we saw with Rex. They don't stop them from
I know.
announcing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to get to a
Uh,
couple people in the chat who stopped in here. Low Key Collector is in the house. Yo, what's up, my
Yo,
guys? What is up, dude? Thank you for tuning into the show. Good to see you here,
my
bro.
bro.
Yes, good to see Calvin as always. And then the Jedi Knights Watch himself is in the house. Graham, what is up, dude? Thank you for stopping by the show. Always appreciate you being here. Yeah, as far as like I guess I'll do like a quick plug I usually do on my show for like have you ever bought anything from Underground Figures?
Underground, no. I'm making my rounds with a lot of people,
Yeah, I
so
gotcha.
Underground, not yet.
Yeah, gotcha. So you brought up like the bat cycle and stuff. So I've been partnered with Underground Figures for a while, but they're like
Mhm.
one company who still has like the bat cycle's been waitlisted for a while. They still have pre-orders and it's like it is imminent. Like I was told last week, I think it was last week, I was told the Sideshow shipment's gonna arrive to Underground in like a couple weeks. So like I
Mm.
expect an invoice like potentially later this week or early
I
next week.
I'd
So
be shocked. Color me shocked if we don't get anything, any news about that. Whether that's
yeah.
from people who are close to the situation or Hot Toys themselves this week. I'd be really
Yeah.
shocked.
I would
Just with
think it's
all
like
of
probably I would think it's probably like going to be this week that we're going to hear something potentially. If they've already like are shipping it and
as
stuff,
far
I
as
would
the
think.
bat cycle, that's
Yeah.
what I heard
Yeah.
was that.
And the bat signal too is also
Yeah, those are
yeah.
two things we know confirmed. The
Yeah.
bat cycle and the bat signal. People have sent in emails and screenshots of them getting charged for it, or the notice of them being charged at a later date is coming out. So
Yeah.
we know
Yeah.
those things. I just it would make sense for them to go ahead and say, boom, Batman, here you go. Like, give
Yeah.
everybody their set, complete their set. Like, it just doesn't make any sense right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but you should check them out at some point. I know, like, I always kind of do a plug for them, like Underground Figures. They're in Rhode Island. Where do you live?
I'm in Cali.
Yeah, so you're in Cali. So they're in Rhode Island, so they're East Coast, but it's pretty nice. Like, their prices are 5% under Sideshow, so it's
Hmm.
5% off of like MSRP basically.
Yeah.
And then depending on where you live, you won't have to pay tax. And then it's double box free of charge, which is really nice.
Mm.
If you're on the West Coast, what you should do is just email them. Ray is the owner. You can email him and just say, like what you're interested in. He'll give you an accurate shipping quote on email versus like getting it from the site, like from the site.
Uh,
So like email him, he'll give you a discounted shipping rate if you email him. But it's really nice too if you make an account on their website and you want to order something, they have no NRD pre-orders, which is one like
oh
a
yeah, I
big
remember you
reason why
talking about
yeah,
that.
like really love ordering from them
Dangerous.
because it's dangerous, but it's really nice because then you don't have to give
Yeah,
people your
definitely.
money that they are sitting on, like, or that you're just like, I have a lot of pre-orders, like I'd be out money that
Mm,
I could use for other things or put in savings or what have you. So it's just
right.
like it's just really nice to have that option. So you can check them out,
Exactly.
undergroundfigures.net, man. You can always
Yeah, I'm
reach
doing
out to
my
him if you
tour,
have
man.
any questions. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
It's
trying to
good.
diversify
Yeah.
who I buy and where I buy from. Going forward in the future, like I'm looking for like what Sideshow says on their site shipped. Like what that number is instead of going through all the like I want that number shipped. That's what I'm looking for in the next year for me personally.
Yeah.
Whoever
Yeah.
can get that consistently, let's go.
Yeah. That's kind of how you're saying, like with the number that like that Sideshow is before tax and shipping.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want that
Yeah.
number before, that
Yeah. That's
number
kind of,
shipped.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is with Underground. Like when it's usually that's kind of what happens with a lot of the figures is once you buy them and get your shipping quote, because a lot of times you're paying tax. If you buy from Sideshow, you're going to pay tax.
Mm-hmm.
But like the majority of stuff that I get from there, the price shipped that comes out is usually like right on or like right around MSRP of Sideshow before shipping and tax.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, it's like
That's
it's a
what I'm looking
pretty
for.
like, and I'm good with that. Like I'm good with if I want something that's going to come out to pay that, versus like I don't want to have to pay an extra like $25-$30 with shipping and tax, and like it adds up quick, right? So you save
Yeah.
a good amount of money if you do it that way. But I agree. That's a good way to do it. And there's so many options, just
Mm-hmm.
it's good to do your rounds, man. It's good to do your rounds and figure out what works best for you for
The
sure.
BST is like a
Yeah.
good barometer for me
Yeah.
in terms of understanding pricing, understanding what how the community feels towards a certain figure.
Yeah.
Um, like you can see like the ones that are like, let's say like the figures that are graded like A and S, right? Those are high. They even during this time the numbers climb down, but it's still high. It's still expensive thing to get
Yeah.
versus like, something that started like at the mid or affordable level and is like tanked, you know for that. And there's a lot of things that go into that. Obviously saturation is a huge part of that. If there are multiple, especially for Spider-Man, if there are multiple Spider-Man out there and some are clearly better than others, that is going to affect the market in a lot of ways. We also have resellers that were selling at egregious price points that
Yeah.
made other people right want to compete just to make money in that time frame. And obviously the market is starting to come back and starting to look like what it should normally look like. But those the last year or so, due to certain retailers just bombing the prices, it's been really difficult to really just sell things on the market as well and retain
Yeah.
its value.
Yeah. So they're trying to correct things, right?
Yeah.
This kind of goes into this next question. You kind of already are starting to talk about it here. Like, what's your collecting philosophy? How do you navigate the hobby? You're already kind of talking about the market. Like, I think that's a really good point you make about using the BSTs and like knowing the market to gauge, what
Hmm.
stuff is going for. I think like that's really important. Like having the awareness for like what figures are going for and like what's going for, crazy prices and like having that kind of guide you along as well.
Mhm.
What else do you have to add here with this question?
Yeah, and when I say all of those things, I know it sounds like very like, educated. Like that is somebody who is just like has just been laser focused into this hobby for like a year and a
Yeah.
half.
No,
Like
it's true, dude.
that is the
That's the same with
product.
me.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like that. I wasn't speaking or talking like this confidently,
Yep.
7,
But
8
now you
months
know
ago.
because you're
But
into it. That's me too. Like I've been in the game for a little over a year, and like
mm,
that's kind of I try to do the same thing. Like really get into the prices things are going for, and like really just kind of absorbing myself in the market,
mhm,
and learning and checking eBay and seeing what prices are, and just like I feel like it's really important to know those things if you're going to make a
definitely,
purchase for like if you're going to
definitely.
buy one of these. I feel like that's an important thing to know for sure.
Yeah. So I have basically my philosophy goes like this. It is um tableaus, ensembles, and tapestries. So well, I kind of said it wrong, but tapestries, tableaus, and ensembles. So my Star Wars is a tapestry. I'm getting my favorite Jedi, some of my favorite characters, the favorite astromechs, or my favorite protocol droids, if you will. So only one protocol droid. Astromech is a different thing now, right? But protocol droid, like, come on. But I want to tell the story of Star Wars through my, you know, tapestry, if you will. It's a lot of intricate, different, complex pieces going and telling my interpretation of the timeline of Star Wars. I won't have everybody, and I won't have all the most important characters, but it's me telling my story through my tapestry. For that example, ensemble Power Rangers, Avengers, right? That's an ensemble shelf, an ensemble. You're bringing all these different people or bringing a team together and putting them all on one shelf. That's how I've
Yeah.
always seen it. And Marvel, for me, and this may not be true for everyone, but when I've always thought of Marvel outside of Spider-Man, I know it's hard to even think that I can do that, but compartmentalize Spider-Man from Marvel for a moment. Like when I think of Marvel, I think of that poster that is all red and it's everyone. It's literally everyone, every being, every created person that lives and exists that has powers in the Marvel universe is all on this poster. And that's what I think. And that's how I've gone about, making sure that my Avengers shelf feels that way. It is not necessarily, it's not like, packing my cases like they're like sardines, but it's doing it in a tasteful manner that shows color, shows individuality, but also shows togetherness within the Marvel umbrella, if you will. And so that has
No
kind of been
doubt,
my
dude.
approach to certain shelves. And then some stuff is just kind of really straightforward, like the spider shelf, as some of you can see here. The spider shelf is just this is a what you would call. You guys can look it up. And so for my spider shelf, I'm willing to break a rule in terms of spacing, but what you would call a group of spiders is a cluster. That's what you call them. So if it looks clustered in there, it's by purpose. It's not by accident. It's a spider cluster. So
I like your like you have a creative mind for it, dude. I think like yeah, I don't like my creativity does not match that. What you everything you just said, it just doesn't. Like my mind doesn't work. I don't have like I feel like I've gotten better at it since I've like collected and posed and stuff. Like I feel like uh it almost feels like for me like a creative piece is missing, and for some people like it just comes really natural, like
mhm,
creative expression through the like with the figures, and for some
mhm.
reason it's just like something that's always been kind of tough for me. Like I think my I'm happy with how my display looks, but like then when I see other people, I'm just like, man, why couldn't I have like just done some of it's really simple, like simple
Yeah,
poses, and you're like, man, like why couldn't I have just like
I
I
think
just
when
don't
you hit
have the
that
eye
point
for it.
right there, I think when you hit that point, that's when you just need to continue to obviously enjoy what you have, and never lose that side of that, but also it's just like continue to just be open to new ideas. I
Yeah,
think that is what's going to help you in terms of your own
yeah, no doubt.
evolution, is being
Yeah.
open. Because what I hear a lot of people that they like what they like and they get what they get, and it's like, okay, are you open to seeing how that can be displayed differently?
Yeah.
Are you open to bringing out that accessory that you may not like, but it might add a little bit more just presentation and value to that figure that you've already loved for months or however long you've had it. It's just being open to different ideas, and to me, and also, I appreciate you calling me creative, because I didn't even think, I really wasn't thinking along those lines. It was just more so like
It's just like your
having a
mindset.
sense
It's just
of,
like you like your
yeah,
mindset. I can like tell like you have a method, right? It's
yeah,
like
yeah. And that was very
it sounded
intentional.
creative as hell, bro.
Yeah,
It
it
sounded
was
creative as hell when
intentional
I heard
though. I
it.
wanted to make sure that each shelf was intentional. I saw how everybody else was doing it, and I wanted, and when you peek into each and every one of my shelves, there's some sort of vibe, there's some sort of story, there's something going on. And just kind of where my philosophy really manifests from is from this movie that I watched when I was a little kid. It was called Indian in the Cupboard, and I know
Dude,
some of you
great
might.
movie.
It's such a great movie, based off of a book that was written, several years before then. And for those who may not know, but the gist of it is this young boy gets a cupboard for his birthday, and he gets a couple figures. His friend gives him a figure, and they put it in a cupboard and they lock it. And then overnight, the kid's sleeping, and you hear stuff going on in the cupboard, and he opens it up, and the toys are alive, and like he basically, the whole movie, he just like builds a relationship with this cowboy toy and
So
this
good, man.
Indian toy. I think there was a time where he kept putting a bunch of stuff in there. I think there was like Star Wars figures in there, but I don't think they could, like, they had the license, but it was like, it was clearly trying to riff on Star Wars because they were like
Sure.
shooting lasers and stuff like that. Really, really cool movie, and I love that growing up, as well as Toy Story. But yeah, though, that film right there was always something that motivated me to just be interested in toys, to want to play with them as a kid, or and to pose them and take pictures of them as an adult today. So
Man, I haven't heard the name of that movie in a while, and I remember the VCR tape, like, the box, when you opened it, had, like, the Indian in the cupboard, like, it was part of the box, like, there was, like,
really,
yeah, there's an edition of that you could get when you open, like, how they had, like, the chunky VCR, like, plastic
yeah,
boxes or whatever?
yeah.
There was a version of that movie you could get VCR. When you opened it, there was a cupboard inside of the actual VCR casing that you could open it with a figure in there.
Wow.
Yeah,
See,
dude.
I missed out on
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
would have definitely had
Maybe you
that
can
one.
go hunt it down. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. And I
Yeah, I'm
wouldn't
sure.
imagine like I wouldn't imagine it being like terribly
Crazy money.
expensive. I wouldn't
Yeah.
think so for something like that. Like, or I'm sure somebody's replicated it out there, but yeah, there
Yeah.
was like it's like that's something that I remember. Which is yeah,
I
which is
love that
crazy.
movie, man.
Yeah, man, great movie. Yeah, Phil the Fool says love Indian in the cupboard. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, very cool
definitely,
movie.
twin. You already know.
Yep. 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 Let's see here. Some guy saying Ray, yeah, from Underground Figures is a good dude, no doubt, really good dude.
Something about those rays. I don't know,
There's
man.
some about those Rays. Yep, yep, no doubt, right.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that earlier. Let me see what Brick says. Yeah,
Yeah, he said
that.
that new red and blue suit from No Way Home will be the best Spider-Man. You have a take on this?
Interesting.
You have a take on this?
That's an interesting thing. You know, because that suit looks damn good in the video game. I'm not gonna lie. And I think it's that nice, like, shiny blue finish to the blue panels there. Oh yeah, Tristan said he had Han Solo on the cover. I knew that Star Wars in there. I knew it. Okay.
Yep, yep. Yeah, good
But
call, good call. Thank you, Tristan.
thank you. But yeah, it was, I think it's those blue panels. Obviously, the new Tom Holland scope. That's going to be interesting. That's a very, very hot take. I won't. I'm just
Yep,
kidding. But
yep.
that is a nice take, though. We'll see. Maybe when we get this other one, this comic one, in our hands, and I don't know, because I'm also hearing that that one's kind of ready to go. Like, once they do drop that, that will be kind of like within the year type thing, from what I've heard.
Yep, yep. Um, dude, I want to show you this real quick. I
Mm-hmm.
want to show you this this Indian in the cupboard VHS. Um, I want to show you what it looks like because I just Googled it. It's on Reddit nostalgia. So hold up, I'm gonna pull it up. Let me see if I can share my screen here real quick. You can't see it like here. Let me spotlight it. Do you see that?
Yeah, I just gotta go full screen on my page for a sec. Oh yeah, like
So like
oh
you can
wow.
see like the little figure, and then it has the boxes, like has a cupboard. It's like a gift, like this. There, it's like a gift set. So like this VHS box, I guess, comes with this second one, and then you open this up, and the figure's in there. It's
Wow.
so cool, dude.
Telling you, hey man, for you 2000s babies out there, you know, the 90s, the late 90s was a very special place, man.
Yeah.
Even early 2000s when you guys were, you know, being conceived. It was a lot of good stuff. Like
Yeah.
I was looking at a McDonald's menu from like '07, and I was just like, bro, what happened? There's some
It's
things that's not
so
on there
different.
anymore.
Yep. Yep. So different now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, Indian in the cupboard. Never. This is why I love the show, bro. I always hear stuff that like I haven't heard in a long time. It's like really nostalgic, right? Mike, pause. Literus is in the house. What is up, bro? Always good to see you. Also, Broke on Toys
What
is
up,
here.
legend?
Juan, yeah, what is the yeah? What's up, legend? Broke on Toys. Juan is here. What is up, dude? I've enjoyed talking with him too. I kind of talked to him recently, and yeah, he's a really good dude. So I appreciate you being here, bro. Rick is saying just sub to you, Bloomer. Got that
Oh
sub,
my
bro.
dude.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Tristan says I had it. It came with a key as well. Oh my God,
Wow.
Cage, dude, Cage, what is up, bro? Rip snack wraps from McDonald's, man. Oh my God,
Oh
dude, I
my.
can taste a snack wrap like by talking about it right
Yes,
now for real.
I can.
Yes, the texture and everything, like it's one of those things. Yes, you just like completely like vividly remember snack
They
wraps,
had like a Southwest style chicken
Yep,
sandwich
yep.
gone. Something I used to get, you know,
Oh
holler in the
my
chat if you
gosh,
used to get this at McDonald's. I used to get a big and tasty. I wasn't a Big Mac guy like that, but I used to get a big and
big and
tasty.
tasty.
I love that growing. Yep,
Oh,
gone
that's
too.
wild, dude. Man, snack wraps. They don't have grilled chicken sandwiches at all at McDonald's anymore
I
either.
know they have grilled chicken, but that like the crunchy like home style chicken, I don't think they make those anymore
The
like
grilled
that.
chicken salad is gone. Dang, that's crazy.
Oh wow, that's
I feel
crazy.
like everybody has chicken salads. I feel like that's one that's weird
I'm
too.
old enough to remember where McDoubles were $1. These used to
Yeah,
be
dude,
one
that was a.
dollar.
Oh my God, I remember I used to like I used to just go through the drive-through and just get like you could get plain Mc. I would just get plain McChickens. Like I would
Yeah.
get like you could get like 4 or 5 plain McChickens for $1 each.
Mm-hmm.
It was like crazy.
Full on meal. Like I
Yeah,
don't
it's
want no. I
crazy,
just
man.
get that and a drink. Why get two of those fries and a
Yeah,
drink when I can
yeah.
get 4 sandwiches and a drink and just go
Yep.
home? You know what I mean?
Yep. Spicy nuggets from McDonald's, man.
Well, Wendy's took that and they're just running with
Yep.
it.
Yep. Brick says, no, just fried chicken sandwiches, at least in the Midwest since
Yeah.
COVID. Interesting. Interesting.
Mm.
Dang, I didn't know. I don't go to McDonald's too much. Like I have a 4-year-old. Every once in a while, I'll take him to McDonald's and just get him some nuggets and fries. And usually when
Yeah.
I do that, like I don't really get, if I go to McDonald's, I'm not really getting anything expensive. I'm just like, I
Yeah.
don't love eating there like that. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
cause
like
like,
a
yep.
twice a month. I'm still weaning off, so it's
Yeah.
like a
Hey,
once
shout
a
out to the
month.
McDonald's app though. I'm sure you have the McDonald's app, right?
Oh man, there was
Yeah.
my coworker was just like,
Yeah.
"You have to get this," and it's
Yeah.
like, I have it, but I just got to get in the
Oh, you got to use it, dude. You can get
because
so
it's just
many
like
deals on that
easy,
thing.
man.
Yeah,
But
you
for
get
free
so many.
fries, ugh.
Yeah, free fry Friday. You get a free medium fry if you spend like a dollar or a couple bucks or something. I forget what it is. And
See
like,
that I would have been a
yeah,
demon on that app like if
yeah,
I was like in high school.
yeah.
Still, oh my god, my
So
high school
usually
was right
like,
across the street from a McDonald's. Like
yeah, oh
we used to
yeah,
just hang
yeah,
out over there.
yeah,
People used to get in fights over there.
yeah,
Like, man, I would have been going crazy.
yeah. Hot and
Ah,
spicy's now $30.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So like the app is really nice because you can like a lot of like I really like McDonald's breakfast. I don't get it too often, but it's like buy one get one. It's like buy a breakfast.
McGriddles.
Yeah, it's buy a breakfast sandwich, get one for 50 cents. So like I'll just get 2
Ooh.
bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Or it's
Mc,
like when I
my
take my
mom is a McMuffin person, but I'm not a McMuffin
dude,
person. I'm trying to tell her that. I'm
McGriddles
like,
all day.
if you're gonna go get like lunch and stuff, or get breakfast and bring it back, and while I'm working or whatever, like, or while I'm sleeping, I wake up to if I wake up to a McMuffin, I'm not eating this shit. I'm not.
They're
But if
not
I
bad, but McGriddles where it's at, dude.
McGriddle, if I wake up to a McGriddle and it's kind of cold, I'm heating it up. I'm getting my drink. I'm sitting down. I'm like, it's just a different. I'm just a different person when it comes to that. Like
Dude, McGriddle and
McGriddles,
hash browns. That's all. That's
yeah.
all I need.
Ooh,
That's all I need, dude. But hash
I'm
browns are
a.
$2 a piece now.
Oh
It's
my
it's
god.
wild, dude. It's
And
wild. That's why I say the
just
app
to
is so
kind
good.
of what we in terms of what we deal with just on the outside of collecting, there's a lot of stuff we got to balance. Like, I don't know about
Yeah.
you, but I now they're making I got to pay my student loans again,
Yeah.
so that's gonna slow down exactly how I'm going to
Yeah.
collect, and trying to figure things out from there. It's just putting a payment there and a payment there. Like, it's just like there's a
Yeah. It
lot of
changes things
that
for sure.
it goes into the formula, man. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Brick says McMuffin. They're okay. I would prefer. It's not high on my list.
Yeah,
Like
I'll eat it
I
if
like a muffin. Like I like a muffin style like breakfast sandwich type thing like that. But McGriddle all day if I have a choice.
yeah.
100%.
Come on now.
Cage says, yeah. So Cage and I actually went to high school together. So we had a McDonald's too right across the street, but like you couldn't go there. So like my school wouldn't let us go across the street because I'm pretty sure, Cage, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the reason why was because a kid got like hit by a car. Like,
Wow.
and so they told us, no, you cannot leave at lunch. I could be
Even
wrong
for
on this, but
those that like, did you guys have that thing where like the seniors could leave at lunch?
nope, we didn't have anything. They would not let us go. Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, they at least when I was there, Cage was a little bit older than me, but yeah, they like were real strict about us leaving for lunch to go. But like you could sneak out, unless you were a TA, then you could get. Unless you were a TA, then you couldn't get out. I think he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
yep.
Cause
Yeah, it
like
was wild.
we had like fights over there at McDonald's at a certain point. Like, they started just like putting a placard, and they'll close the they'll close the
God
lobby
damn.
so you couldn't go in. Like, they just know, most of
Hey.
these kids don't have a car, so they can't get in the drive through. They're just like, oh, whatever, go to
Yep.
somewhere else and fight. That's how they were.
Yep. Oh man, that's good. That's good times. I don't
Memory
go to
lane, bro.
McDonald's nearly as much as what I used to, but anyways, let's move on to the next question here. Love it though, dude. Love it. Love a good tangent.
Yeah.
What is something you want to improve upon as a collector, if anything?
I think it's a twofold answer I have. One, the quickest one would be photography and overall presentation of my figures. The last year or so has just been dipping my toes into a lot of things that, quite frankly, just don't have too much experience in, right?
Yeah,
Um, uh,
that's cool, man.
Toy photography or slash macro photography. These things take a certain approach to it. Lighting, composition, the exposure triangle, if you will, learning all of these different things, and trying to apply that, um, to these figures is it's interesting, and also has its challenges. Of, capturing a 6 scale figure is much more difficult than a 6-inch figure. Right? We see a lot. I go on Instagram and I see a lot of like reels of like 6-inch figures, and they're doing all of these like, they might be like doing memes, or like they'll have a voiceover from a movie, and they'll be reenacting the movie. That stuff is so easy to do because, again, there's materials you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
You're right. They just all exposed joints ready to go, and just go ahead and have fun. Right.
Yeah,
Some of them
not
do
nearly as
have,
hard to pose.
yeah, but they're not nearly as hard to pose, nearly hard to really get that level of like, immersion from your
Yeah.
audience. Like, that believability has to happen from somewhere, and so that's the number one thing for me is, trying to go a little deeper in terms of photography. So lighting, composition, even maybe dioramas, taking them outside, doing things like that. If you go to my Instagram page, you see that I have like a certain like theme that I'm going with right now. Like in the last year or so, it's all been basically I don't know if you the way I put it was like the first day of school photos or like high school photos. Like everybody that comes into my collection takes their ID or ID badge photo, if you will. Like everybody takes their ID badge photo. They're now like an employee here, or also or they're registered here in this museum. Let's say it like that, right? And so like my posts on my Instagram are always like, hey, I just got this new figure today or yesterday, and this is the newest one to my collection. Welcome them to the part of it. So it's always each post that I have is introducing. It's like introduction
I
post
was
to each.
wondering, I was going to ask you about that because all
Mhm.
your pictures look like relatively like the same style, right? So,
Yeah.
yep,
So
yep,
just
that's
trying
cool,
to
man.
keep that uniformity on my page, one, and then two, having a theme that is very easy to replicate over months and months. When even when I get a figure, I'm dead tired or crazy busy. Like, all right, well, I can just put this down and then work on it, or just things like that is very like easy to replicate over time. And so really the number one thing for in that regard is to how can I fine tune that? How can I take that up to the next level? And those are things that I'm concerning myself with as we go into the next year here. And then secondly is, man, I guess I'm going to have to turn into like a part-time like window cleaner. It's just learning the overall, like I don't even know the chemistry that goes in between that goes with wiping and cleaning off glass. I have dust and all these things that are kicked up throughout the day, and those also play a factor into how well I can keep my cases clean. I have two cats. They come in here and they know the rules about the cases and stuff like that. They're pretty sweet. So they're not really they know that they can't get into it, so like why even bother? Like most I get is like a paw on the case and I'll wipe that off easily. But um it's keeping these dang glasses clean. These
Yeah,
windows,
it's
like
tough, man.
it's tough, man. It's like every time I walk past, I'll see a streak, or I'll see, I have a squeegee, or if you will, things that can just go up against the window pane or the glass, and you can just streak it down. But those also, it's not a foolproof plan. Like it's the experience has been very like trial and error. I have this thing called it's by a company called Sprayaway. It's called Glass Cleaner, and it's foam. So it'll get onto your glass. It'll sit there, let it foam up, let it sit on it for a minute, and then that's when you go and wipe it down, because that one it's streak free. But what I've learned is that you know you can still create streaks by the way that you rub it in or rub it out.
Yep.
For lack of a better term, like you can still you can still leave streaks in there, right? And so
Take
um
notes, everybody.
yeah, so what I learned in certain going on YouTube was like, do not do the circular. And I have to sometimes I just like my mind just goes blank and I'm like, yep, circular. Don't do circular. You're just gonna you're taking the dirt, displacing it, and moving it around to a larger surface. You're not doing anything in terms of cleaning it. You're just making that dirt spot even larger. And so what I was told was wipe at angles
You
all
use a
the way
microfiber
down.
cloth?
I use a microfiber cloth as well. I have multiple different microfiber cloths, but I think I
Man,
gotta
I
get some
still
new
can't get it.
ones.
You got to get
I
a good. You
wash
got to
them
get
and
a
I
good one.
rewash them. Yeah, I think I
You
need
got to
to
get
get
a
like
good one
a
because those are supposed to like trap the dirt for you. But if you have like shitty ones, they don't really like. Some of them are just aren't
yeah
good. Like they don't
yeah.
pick up the material well, or it just stays on the glass. But
That's
yeah,
what's gonna yeah. I'm probably gonna be on Amazon tonight looking
you
at
might
it.
be the
But
first
yeah.
person. You might be the first person to say that they want to improve their glass cleaning
Yeah,
on the
and like
show.
it does like it comes out well, and you can't really see it on
Yeah,
camera. It doesn't
Joey
really
says he heard squeegee is best. Squeegee is, but like the thing is like on cabinets, you have to be really careful with where like you have to use probably a small squeegee because you want to make sure you capture all the water or whatever the cleaner is. Like you need to make sure you capture it where it's going versus like you don't want to leak inside your cabinet. That's the main thing when you use a squeegee, because when you push it down, all that liquid is just starting to flow. You know what I mean? So you gotta be careful if you use a squeegee. But squeegee would
Yeah.
do the trick probably. And if anything's on the glass, like if that squeegee grabs onto like something that's on the glass, like
Mhm.
a any type of like speck, something hard speck of something, and you push it, if you push it all that down and it gets caught under the squeegee, you will scratch your glass. So you
Yeah.
have to have enough like moisture on the glass, and then have it enough of a spread, and then you can't, you can't.
Yeah,
Joey
it's
said I did it once and it was hell.
yeah. It's a lot of
Yeah,
work that goes into it. That's why I'm definitely kind of considering for my next, cases that I might get, or will they be glass? Will they be open? Like these are
yeah.
things
They
I
all
have
are.
to.
If you go with glass, even acrylic too, acrylic will just like they like just like I have a couple dogs, and like yeah, hair will just like it's like a static. You know what I mean? I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing if you don't want things to stick to glass or acrylic is like make sure the humidity is set well in the room. Um,
Yeah.
that'll
I'm
help control the
I'm
dust.
I looked into those things too cuz it's like, all right, cuz there's things that also can help lower the how do I want to say this without sounding like so nerdy, like it's out of like so out of pocket. It's like there's things to help you like lower the static electricity like voltage in your environment.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like when it
some
gets
people
really dry, can
yeah,
get really staticky.
you're
Yeah,
very staticky and things will stick. So there's things to help you with that, and a humidifier as well, and a air purifier. I do have like I've got the Novus for my acrylic case, and then I have my glass cleaner for my glass stuff. So I do have the tools necessary, but I think it's time for a little bit of refinement. I would say.
Austin Nicholas is in the house. What is up, bro? Thank you for
Yo,
tuning into the show. He says he has both acrylic and glass. Yeah, if I
yeah.
got both, I have acrylic and glass as well. It's
So
hard
you
to get it
already know,
like
man.
perfectly clean, or I should say like acrylic. I feel like is pretty good if you have like climate control and you have like a good acrylic cleaner. You can get it
Hmm.
clean, but like it doesn't take much to get it dirty again or like get something on it again.
Hmm.
Um, Especially with the modular cases, like you always get fingerprints when you pull the things down and like pull them off the cabinets. They're always in the
Yep, and you
cases.
reminded me. If you guys don't have them already, if you have glass or even acrylic, go ahead and grab you a pack of those gloves. You get you some black ones, or you can get you some white ones, some white cloth gloves, so that you won't leave those fingerprints, those
Yep.
pesky fingerprints on your cases when you want to go and repose. I have and this was a figure that if you went and asked me last year, this definitely probably would have been a top 3 figure last year. But Golden Armor Wonder Woman, and if you guys have her, you know that her body is basically like a fingerprint magnet. And so I got tired of like trying to like repose her or doing stuff, and it just would leave something. I'll be like, oh, let me wipe that off. Oh, let me
Yep.
repose that, and then I had to like erase the traces of me working on
Smudges
the
and
figure.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So get your
Gotta
gloves
love it.
and
Gotta love it.
eliminate that.
I also love like when you pose a figure and then you look at it and then there's like a speck of dust on it. You can see it or like a
Yeah.
speck
I'm
of
like,
something. You're like, oh shit.
then I gotta go back in there and then I'll repose it and then like I don't like that. And then I'm like
Yep.
there for another 30 minutes. So
Yep.
that's why I
Yep.
don't like going back in
Bingo.
sometimes.
Bingo. Austin agrees on what we were talking about. Microfiber cloths work very well. Yes, yes. They are a must for sure. Aaron Collects is in the house. Yo, 2
What up,
legends,
young?
one stream. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for
That's
tuning
the
in, man.
baby. I need to know how old he is compared to Joey. 'Cause that's the baby right there.
All right, let's move on to the next question here. What is your most important piece of advice to give to other collectors?
Mm. This one, I take this question with the utmost like respect, honestly, because this is something that I don't think it's given like wholesale in our community. Like we were talking about backstage, just a lot of other stuff that's like in the way for us, to consume for content, like figure reviews, collections, things like that. But one thing, the thing that I would feel is most important is to always remember, why you started and who you're doing it for.
Great dude.
For me, like I've shared with you guys, I've tried to make some, callbacks throughout this hour that we've been together, is my past and that child in me. I'm always thinking back to that child that was sitting on, the living room floor, or, in his, or on the floor in his brother's room playing with his toys, and like thinking of like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I had like, something like this. And like, I had GI Joe, and I had Action Man, and I had Max Steel. For those, like, I know I'm like littling off some OG stuff. Some of y'all may not know, but yeah, I had some of those guys, and they were 6 scale. And so this is not necessarily my first foray in the scale. I just have always loved toys. I've always had fun just using my mind to kind of manipulate and create different scenarios. I was doing battle royales with Goku and Optimus Prime and a
Hell
bunch of
yeah,
other
sounds
figures, and
badass.
Spider-Man's there. Like like it was just like all these random characters, almost like
Yeah,
Fortnite
good
today, right?
imagination, man. Yep.
So
Yeah.
like it was like the kind of, just doing what I could do with the toys that my parents could afford to give me. Like,
Yep.
so that is the number one advice that I would give to you, the audience, is, never forget for who you do this for who you collect for. Yes, you will have friends. Yes, the friends will come and go. Yes, your family, their attention to you when it comes to this, if they're not really into it, that attention will come and go. But you can't run from yourself. Like, you need to love who you are in the inside, right? If you love that, then you will always want to cherish and always give props to that child, that inner child in yourself. So collect for the inner child. Everything else will come and go. Enjoy it as it passes.
Word, dude. That's really well said for sure. Yeah, no doubt. Like, it doesn't really matter what other people think about your collection, but you, honestly. And maybe
Yeah,
like the
because
people
you're
who
gonna be
really,
with.
who you like, really, really, really like, yeah, maybe if they care about it as well, but that's few and far between, right?
Mhm.
You're the one that's curating the collection, and it's what you want, right? I think that's, yeah, couldn't have said it better for sure.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
gonna be living with that.
Yep.
You got to go and look at that, and you know what you paid for it. You know all that. The trials and tribulations. You know how long you waited, and you looked at your UPS, and you looked at all the dates and where it came in and all of that. You were watching that. You were looking for the notifications. You were in the email. Nobody sat there. Nobody was sitting there on a sideshow with you, eBay with you, Mercari with you, looking at all this stuff, spending all this time on these streams. Like, that's you. At the end of the day, that's what we'll be left with, is, you're the person that is passionate about this.
Yep.
Serve
Word.
that person. Everything else will fall into line. I
Yep.
promise you.
Yep. Agree, dude. Agree, man. Well said. Well said for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Mike says it's nice to hear others pull their hair out too over these little things like speck of dust after you've achieved the perfect pose. Dude, that
Yeah,
like
man.
sums me up as a collector and when I'm posing stuff.
Yeah, it's
Oh
almost
man, yeah,
scary how similar a lot of how we think and how we
yeah,
live.
yeah,
You
no
may
doubt.
not prefer a certain streamer or a certain collector, but your heart will be shocked by just like actually kicking it with this person. You might be like, wow, we're actually twins.
Yep, yep, exactly. Austin has a question for you. He sees this all the time online. Goku versus Superman. Who wins?
Mm. Well, if it's any solar system that doesn't have have a sun, then it's Goku instantly. Um, honestly,
I always
Goku
have a
is a power
different opinion.
maniac, man. Like Superman, he's just trying to save the planet and trying to like keep up his like standards and his morality. He's a beacon of morality. He's a beacon of what we should all strive to be. But Goku is an alien. They're both aliens, but Goku is like an alien of people that literally do nothing but live and breathe to fight. Like they grow through combat. Like you had Krypton. I'm pretty sure you had Kryptonian politicians and regular women and children that probably weren't aiming to be, you know, Kryptonian warriors. Yeah, and also like Superman's weakness is all too well known. Although you are talking to you're talking about Goku here. Goku, he's going to see that there's like that little kryptonite. He's going to crush it and throw it. And he's gonna like, I'm not using this. I'm gonna fight him straight up. I want to see what he has. That's how crazy Goku is. So it just really depends on the situations and the context. But if there's no sun there, Goku's watching that guy.
Man, every time I literally every single time, like without a doubt, every time I hear about like the word Goku, I just think about him going Super Saiyan 3
Yeah,
and yelling for like 5 straight
bro.
minutes.
He like, and some of you guys
I
really don't
just
know
cannot.
because
Yeah, it's
there's
wild.
a newer age of anime now, and like the pacing is much better. But when we were growing up, like the pacing was kind of wonky, and like there was characters screaming for a half an episode to episode plus,
Yep.
charging up for that one moment or for
Yeah.
that one fight. And so it's just very interesting how that all like plays out, man. Goku is really dope. I love Superman as well, but they just the way that they built Goku is just like impossible to stop. He just continues to as long as you beat him up, he's gonna get stronger. It's like you don't want to fight him because you're gonna get him angry, you're gonna get him mad, and he's just gonna surpass
Literally, he gets
whatever
continues
level.
to get stronger over it
Yeah, that's how
constantly.
Saiyans are built. Like, have we seen Superman like really like go to like a 2.0 level or something like that? Like, it's just Superman always just finds a way or something happens for him. But like, I don't know, it's just the way that they wrote Goku and his individual stuff that makes it hard to bring him into the comic verse. Like,
Yeah, it's
it
always
has to
hard to
be
like do.
one
It's always
version of
hard to do
Goku.
like go across IPs and stuff to pick something.
Yeah, anime
One
power
Adam.
scaling is just no
Yeah.
go in.
Yeah, exactly. One Adam 12 is in the house. I got to go with Superman every time. Thank you for tuning into the
I
show. S Beam is in the house as
B
well.
B
Hello
B.
all. What is up? El Profesoro, good to see you, man. Thank you so
Yo.
much for checking out the show, dude. I really yeah, I enjoy your content and I yeah, I kind of lurk everywhere. I don't always have the ability to comment on streams. I try to when I can. Usually I just like sometimes I get so busy I just have a an AirPod in one ear and listen to some stuff. But yeah, I enjoy your stuff, man. And if you ever want to come on to an episode of the show, let me know, dude. I'd love to have you
I met him in
on.
person. We went
Oh
to
yeah, dope.
Franklin's. What was that in April? I want to say top of it feels it's so long ago. It feels like it was last year. But yeah, I met him at the top of the year. Very swell dude. Awesome guy to just hang out for a day with, and we were just running around looking for some 6 scale figures and just talking
Nice.
hot toys and a lot of what
It's,
we were just doing backstage. So he's a really
it's
really
a
great
dope
guy.
Star Wars collection.
Oh yeah, I told him in person. I was like, man, when I see you on YouTube, I just want to go through your screen and just like grab stuff, man. Like
Yep.
I'm just
Yep.
living vicariously through him with Star
Yep.
Wars, especially.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, bro. Mike says there's always this imaginary friend in my head who's going to criticize me for not getting the deluxe when he sees my collection. I have to remind myself that literally no one will ever do that, dude. This is real. This like sums me up right here. It's really hard for me to like not get a figure that like sometimes a deluxe is just like I would rather just get the deluxe version anyways. I've tried to get away from that a little bit. Um
Deluxe has to sell me. That
it's
is
tough,
that's
man.
late
It's tough.
bloomers thing because when I showed everybody I got Carnage, they're like, "You're not getting the deluxe." I'm like, "I'm not getting the Venom. I don't give a damn about
Yeah, if
that."
you're not
Like,
gonna get the Venom, then there's really like,
what's the point? If there was like, oh, there's like a little like Venom tentacle that like wraps around his body or like some cool stuff like that, then that would have got me. But a Venom bust for a figure that I wasn't gonna get that's not not strong.
yeah, I'm debating. I really want to get a Carnage. I don't know if like I kind of potentially want to get a Venom at some point, but then there's the Spider-Man 2 Venom coming out, so I'm kind of
Yeah,
torn on that. But I also like the movie Venom too. I think he looks cool.
yeah,
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll
yeah.
see.
He's gonna have to just like I was saying in I think I was saying this in the Joey stream a little while ago. It's just like you have to like parse through the weeds with a lot of the stuff that you get.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to really be granular, and it's sometimes it sucks because you have to kind of talk down a figure that you might be into. You might like this figure. You might actually want it a part of your collection, but you have to be realistic with yourself. This is the space. Do I have the funds right now to do this? Right. Um, all these different things are going to this, going to this pot. And all these ingredients go into the pot, and whatever is cooked up is cooked up. And so when it comes to stuff like that, is you guys, we have to always just continuously be granular, because that is just a way for us to protect our wallets the best way we know how. Right? It's just like, go for the stuff that is heavy hitter. You cannot go for the stuff like, oh man, I want that, and this guy said this was great. Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
Like
it's tough. You know, you
that's
talk about,
getting swept up in
yeah,
emotion.
yeah.
Like, you gotta get granular.
It's also tough when, like, you know, you can get a figure that maybe you don't want that much, like one that's $150, or you can get a really good deal, $150, $200. Like, oh, let me just like pick this up. When really you could save that money and then get something maybe a little bit more expensive, you know, that you really want. That's like really, that you really, it's like, it's hard not to get sucked into that trap of like something being, just because it's a good deal doesn't mean you have to buy it. Like, oh, it's a good figure, but it might not
Yeah,
be that level for you. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's really hard to not get
yeah.
sucked into
That's
that.
what getting
Yeah.
granular. That's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. That's a really good point.
uh,
Um,
there's
yeah.
a practice, called mindfulness, right? And it's almost like meditation. But mindfulness is like, if you're dealing with stress or anxiety, or something's going on in your life, it's taking that moment to say, to identify how you're feeling, like where you are in that moment, like not necessarily, engaging with whatever situation is happening. It is disengaging and saying, okay, how is my chest feeling? All right, how is my body temperature feeling? It's taking that moment, that mindfulness. Like, that's what you have to do as a collector. Just get granular and ask yourself, like, how am I feeling about this? Do I even like this? Right? Let me go watch the show? Right? Let me go watch this movie. Like, did that really move me? Or did I just want to buy something? Right? You have to
Yeah.
ask yourself that. You have to get as strict with yourself as possible. Because I know me, and for lack of a better term, when it comes to IPs, I'm a whore. I love everything. I love anime. I love DC. I love Marvel. I love Star Wars. All of it has a place in my heart. So
Yeah.
for me, I have to get even more granular. I envy those who have straight up Star Wars collections, because that means that they're about as disciplined as those people can be when they know there's like hundreds and hundreds of SKUs of figures, just like the ones they have for Star Wars, for all this other stuff that I know
Yeah.
they like,
Everything else.
that I
Yep.
know for a fact they
That's why I
like.
started branching out, you know, because like there's other
Mhm.
stuff that that I really like, but I had to be just selective on what, you know, what versions. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
mine is like majority Star Wars, and I'm doing like my, what do I really want? What version of the characters do I really want? Otherwise, so like
exactly. Getting
Avengers, like I'm
granular.
getting, yeah, like one version of an Avenger. What one do I really want? That's kind of how
Exactly.
I'm approaching a
That's
lot
how
of it
my
because I
Avengers
can't just
setup
get it
is.
all. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I can't do the Avengers 2012, and then the Avengers,
Yeah.
when they ended off. That would have been cool to see the
Yeah.
first and the last iterations of them, but I couldn't do that. I went and with what felt natural to me is get all the favorite versions of them. I got Infinity War Thor. He was in his bag. He was a demon. Okay, in that movie.
Yep.
Captain
Infinity War
Marvel.
Thor is the one that, the one Thor I got was Infinity War Thor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like he got to swap out arm, like
Yeah.
that was he was on demon time. All right.
Yep.
Captain Marvel. I love the goose and the leather jacket, or the bomber jacket, a part of it. Like, yes, she had a probably better moment with Thanos um in game, but I just like that setup. So I got a little granular with that one. In game cap. Enough said. I'm not even gonna go into
Yeah. I
that
need to get that. I need to get
one.
the figure.
Battle Damage 85. Enough said. You know what I mean? Hawkeye, Ronin, right? Black Panther. Black Panther. Not much change. Same suit. Um, Outside of Civil War to Black Panther, of course. And then I got the No Way Home Doctor Strange to be my Doctor Strange and my Avengers setup, so that it can go with when I get Toby and I already have Andrew and I already have Tom, just to,
Yeah.
you
Nice.
know. So
Smart.
that was kind of my thing. People
Use
are
it
saying,
more for
"Oh,
the
I'm gonna
props.
wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for this multiverse of madness." I'm like, "Yeah, that looks great. It's fantastic." But when it becomes time and there's No Way Home line is done, and I don't have that strange to kind of go with it, it's gonna suck. It's gonna sting.
Yeah.
So those are things like that I think
Yep.
about as
Smart.
well.
Smart. Aaron says, hopefully you will get a Hulk soon.
Yeah, he
I just
funny.
got a Hulk recently, bro. Yeah.
He got a Hulk
Yeah.
and a Thanos. I'm like, where are you putting that at? Are you putting that in
Yeah.
your
Hulk is
garage? Is
massive.
it in a lake in your backyard? Like,
That's my next
what
one. Probably
space?
battle damage Thanos at some point. I keep going back and forth between the battle damage and clean, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get battle damage because I really like the rock base.
Yeah, I mean they're
Yeah, we'll see.
fantastic
They're
pieces. I
huge
mean,
though. They are massive.
the
They take up a lot of space.
Hulk is something
Uh,
I've like thought about a little bit over time. You know, it's like, man, I would be dope to have that.
yeah.
But I'm holding out hope. Now I don't. It's gonna be hard if I put this out there. There's people gonna be like, "Oh my god." I'm holding out hope they do a comic version of Hulk. I'm hoping they do
I
that.
wouldn't be surprised. You know, like they're going. It seems like they're going to start going. Keep going down this route of the comic line. You know.
And as I've already shared on stream, this is public domain. I would love to put together a Marvel versus Capcom shelf with the 6 scale figures that are available at the moment. So things like we have a little spattering of Street Fighter figures starting to hit the market. Obviously we have our Marvel figures, but it's the specific looks that I'm trying to get there with the Spider-Mans and the Wolverines and things like that. But it's just those things. This possibility is coming. I also saw months ago that 30 teased the Mega Man, like a regular, like light blue, straight up Mega Man.
Damn.
Like they haven't showed that ever since. Like that was like I want to say a month or
That
two
would be
ago.
cool.
I would
I'm
love to
such a
get that.
sucker for video game stuff, dude.
And he's small. I'm like, yeah, he fit perfectly. He wouldn't
Yep.
have so much of a footprint in my collection. Like that would be perfect. But
Yep.
we're seeing this growth of a lot of video game characters. Um, that it gives me like a lot of hope for seeing shelves that don't feature Marvel, DC, in Star Wars, like 6 scale shelves that have nothing to do with any of that. That lets me know that the industry is growing, right? And the industry is not being so arrested or beholden to the top 3 IPs. We know that
Yep.
makes money, but there's a lot of good stuff out there that isn't necessarily attached to an IP or a series or a franchise that honestly I think can make a lot of money.
Yep. Yep. 100%. I want to get some comments here. S Beam says, hit that like button, y'all. Yes, please hit that like button if you are here. Austin says, Steve has a dope Star Wars collection. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate you saying that. I do enjoy my Star Wars for sure, and I am pretty happy with where my collection is at right now. Can't wait to get all these other Star Wars figures that are coming out. Ahsoka line.
Man, don't
Yeah,
get me
crazy,
started
bro.
on that line.
Crazy,
Oh,
crazy. So like for Brick, you kind of said, oh, I didn't really need the bus for Brick. He kind of has a different, different thought. He thinks the bus is still worth it. One of the best sculpts. So he kind of likes displaying that next
okay,
to Carnage, but also he doesn't always get the deluxe either. It's whatever you like, right?
definitely, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad
Nice.
you're enjoying that though, Brick. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's
it,
a cool piece. That
I'm
sculpt is
glad
that
they.
like, yeah, that bus is cool. It's cool
Mhm.
they added that in as an option, and then
Yeah,
if you want to put it on your Venom figure that you have, you can. That's like pretty cool.
yeah. I wish I'm saying that, and I'm like, I was saying that like I wouldn't get the deluxe because of that, but I'm also saying this too is like I would like for them to continue to do stuff like that where they're adding this accessory could go with this
To have
figure
some options.
that we know that you may have because you're purchasing this figure. Like I think that
100%.
is cool, or encourage you to buy that figure alongside this figure so that you can have more options as well.
Yeah.
It's cool, and then you could also twist that and say like it's a cash grab. Like either way, like it gives people options. If you want to
Yep.
spend money on whatever, you can.
Yep.
It's life, man.
Yep. 100%. Mike says the Spider-Man 2 Venom is what makes me want to get the Carnage because it'll be closer to proper scale for my comic display vision. Yeah, that's really
Exactly.
cool, man. Mix it up like that and kind of make it how you want to, depending on what like vibe and look you're going for. 100%.
That's where we're going over here as
Yep.
well.
Yep. I'm not 100% sure how to say this. It might be Toy Box.
Toy Box. Yep,
Toy
that's my
Box?
guy.
Oh, is
Hmm.
your guy Toy Box? Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you for tuning in, Toy Box. I just broke my rule and got an anime figure, and that's where it starts.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to him later.
I'm gonna
I
talk
know
to
he's
him
been
later.
talking. I know he's been talking about that, and me and him, we have a lot of discussions. There's not a whole lot of people. It's like almost like a sub side section of people who are in 1/6 that know about anime. There's not a whole lot of people that like are in our 1/6 and know are
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
versed in anime, like for real, like know the stuff and like love talking to him because he's versed in that. And we've always kind of said like, man, if 3-0 could get the Dragon Ball Z license, what would life be like? And
Be
we're
wild.
also, you know, for those who follow me, you know that I have a few 3-0 figures, especially from Naruto. I have this Kid Sasuke, the Kid Naruto, and then I have there's this other company that has the Naruto Shippuden license, and they have the ship, Naruto when he was a teenager, and then they have Sasuke when he was a teenager. All fantastic figures, but they're kind of low key. People wouldn't know about them unless you
Yep.
know the show.
Yeah, unless you know the show or you're into it, right? Yep. Let's see here. Austin says, "Oh gosh, I have dozens of IPs going on. Hey, it's
Oh yeah,
whatever you like, man. It's cool. Like your collection looks dope with the spread.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, this is
Yep.
there's room and space for everybody, so don't
Yep.
don't get it all
Yep.
don't get it twisted at all.
Have a Hulk, need a Thanos. So Thanos looks really cool. It looks really cool to have both. I'll say. I want to get a Thanos next, and you can get him for a decent price. That's another thing. Just insane how much he retailed for, and just you can get him for such a good price now. Mike says I'm majority Star Wars and super selective about anything else. I have to have a reason that I can articulate as to why I need this non-Star Wars piece. What's the emotional connection? That's what I try to ask. Word, 100%.
Exactly. Getting
Yep.
granular. That
Yep.
is
Yep.
what Mike is doing is exactly what I was trying to, encourage everyone in the chat to do
Yep.
is get granular. Ask yourself, right? Don't be afraid to ask yourself because sometimes people, you get afraid and you know exactly why you're afraid because you're going to probably talk yourself off that ledge. You want to get that because of the dopamine hit. Like have that conversation with yourself and say, "Hey, do you really want this? Do you need this?"
Yep.
Right? You're already 50, 40. So it's not like this is going to be your first one. So why do you need this? Right? You need solid justification, especially
Yep.
when you go past 20. You got your own cases and you start to like invest in them.
Yep.
You
100%.
get granular, man.
Get granular.
Yeah.
Hashtag it. Get granular. GG.
GG, exactly.
Tristan says, I feel like you don't have to quote unquote finish a line for lack of a better term. It's great if you do, but you can also just get what speaks to you and that's it. Yeah, 100%, dude.
Especially
100%
not with
agree.
Hot Toys
Yeah,
because they
especially
don't
now with Hot
finish
Toys.
the line.
They want you, well, yeah, one, they don't if they don't finish a line, but two, if they have a lot of figures within a line, like they're doing that because they want to entice you to buy more, right?
Mhm.
That's always another thing. It's like a good marketing strategy. If you can't resist the temptation to get a line, I feel like it's a good marketing strategy for them to get you to want to buy it all, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, there's certain figures like, there's certain Star Wars figures that I don't have because I don't feel like the need to finish it. Like one that came to mind when I saw this comment was like Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Like I have Empire Strikes Back. That's like kind of the iconic one for me.
Mhm.
And then I also have like the throne version of Boba Fett. Like I don't need that many Boba Fetts, and to get that one is just like it'd be cool to have, but I just don't need it because I just don't really I don't need to collect the same character from every different era if it's not really that important to me. Now, if we're
Yeah.
talking about Luke Skywalker, that's a different level because it's so
Yeah.
different. It's just so it depends kind of character based, but that's what
I
I would
would
say
say
about that.
probably Anakin falls in that line because,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
I guess, like, it's technical because it's Vader,
Yep.
but
Yep.
like,
Yep. I'm
I'm
good with
trying to
just the
put
one
that.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, I'm trying to put like Attack of the Clones Anakin when I get him. Like, try to have him in front and then have my Vader like behind him, like looming over.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
trying to work on that, like, because
Yeah. Do
that
like the
Vader's kind of tall,
transformations
man.
type pose. Yep. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Rick says, "Give me, excuse me, some Tekken
Oh
figures."
yeah,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
games coming out not too
Any
long
video
from now.
games. Please just give us more and more video games.
Yeah,
Mike says,
definitely.
I want high quality 1/6 figures based on characters from Valiant Comics, but I'm probably the only one. That's okay.
They have a
Um,
lot of good stuff over there,
yeah,
man. It's a lot of good characters. I mean, they're not super popular, but I see a lot of Valiant comic stuff I just
yeah,
run across. So yeah,
yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah,
Third
it's always
party for
hard. It's
sure.
always hard when stuff doesn't sell because they want to make that money, you know.
Exactly.
Austin says, speaking of 3-0, I'm opening up all the Rangers this week, dude. Nice.
Okay,
That's
you
dope.
better, man.
That's dope.
They all looking at me right now, like thankful they're out of their boxes.
um, Aaron says, Quiet Bloomer, I would sell all my 112 Dragon Ball figures.
I told you that months ago when you said, "Oh yeah, I'm about to go crazy in the 6 scale. I'm gonna get all these." I was like, "All right, bro, you ain't gonna have no space. You trying to juggle all that 112 stuff? It's coming.
Oh, that's
I'm
why I got rid of all my 112th.
telling you.
Um,
I got
yeah.
one little shelf in my bookcase for them, and that's it, bro. I don't
Yeah.
have the space.
Christian Cooper said, "Is that Vader going to come out this month?" No, Vader got pushed. I believe he's January to March is the window. I think now.
Yeah, from what I do know is that
Yep.
people's payments definitely got pushed back.
Yep.
Some
I
people
know he's.
had stuff due for December, and it's in January. So yeah.
Yep. I know earliest that it could be would be January.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Sideshow has it listed January because I think it was October to March maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was the window, something like that, and
Yeah.
then yeah, it got pushed to like.
Because
Now it's
initially
January
people
to
thought this
March.
was going to be they thought they were going to be, and we still have yet to see this, but they thought that those were going to be like Hot Toys' like Christmas push was going to be the Obi-Wan figures. So now that's
Yeah.
not in the cards, sadly, unfortunately, for a lot of my fellow collectors out there.
Obi-Wan the GOAT, baby.
We will see what happens though.
Yep. I'm okay with it. Like honestly, the one time I say that I'm okay with probably stuff getting pushed is probably like around this time right now when I'm spending a lot of other money on
Definitely.
gifts, and like the holidays are, I would say, probably the best time to to have a delay because
Yeah,
I would rather not buy a figure right now, to be honest.
definitely. I'm
Trying
trying
not
to
to do
sell
that.
some. I ain't
Yep.
trying.
Yep. Yep. I just sold a figure and like exactly I'm trying to like just sold a figure, recoup some Christmas money. Um yes. Yes. It's a tough I mean I
Oh,
kind of like want things to come out I'd rather them come out in January. Tristan says, I always say it, Balin, I need Balin, Shin, Enoch, and I can quit. Yes, man. I would get all three of those for sure. But Late Bloomer, I would love to see a Blue Eye Samurai figure. So I've been hearing a lot of like really good stuff about the show. Did you watch it?
I am currently watching it. I think
Yeah.
I'm on the second episode, but I always like fall asleep towards the end of it, so I need to go back and like
Yeah.
kind of recap a bit. But yeah, as far as the show is concerned, the show is fantastic.
Yeah, I heard it's
It
really
is
dope.
worth all the hype. If you heard your friends, gushing about it, they're doing so for a reason. So if you have some time, go check that out. But yeah, that also will probably be cool to see in a 6 scale form. He also said later on down the line, Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh. I know they do
Yeah, Austin.
statues.
Tristan,
I,
yeah. Give me
yeah,
some Yu-Gi-Oh figures.
yeah, I know they did that. They've done some statues of those, but yeah, I would like a Yugi, a Joey. I
I
mean,
never got into Yu-Gi-Oh. I was big into Pokemon when I was growing up, but
man, I was showing Austin a couple days ago. Like I have they're back there somewhere, but I have like 2 folders full of just Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like I have a deck, and
yeah.
I have a bunch of stuff, man. Like I told you, I collect a lot of stuff. I'm
Yeah.
trying to like narrow it down so I can focus, but
Yeah,
some
we
things
were
just don't get taken care of like they should.
yeah, I was talking to a couple buddies of mine backstage after a show I think it was last week, but like how I still have all my base set like Pokemon, a lot of my like a lot of the base set holographic cards. So like I still have
Yeah.
like the original 3 Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, like yeah,
Oh,
cards I
that's
want to get
money
forever.
now.
I would some of them like so I had like I think I had 3 base set Charizards and then a 4th like second edition Charizard. I don't know how much you know about Pokemon
Mhm.
cards, but yeah, like I sold 3 of the 4 during COVID because they were going for so much money.
Bro,
They were crazy during
Pokemon is
that time.
like the prices on Pokemon because they don't do compared to Yu-Gi-Oh. They
Mhm.
don't do a whole lot of like reprints compared to
Yeah, the
Yu-Gi-Oh.
base set reprints, like I don't see that ever really. Well, and another thing is like reprints, like the reprints in Pokemon are the ones that have low value, and then the originals just have like this. They always just stay high, pretty much. It's really
Yeah,
interesting. It's really interesting how that works.
Yu-Gi-Oh, they do
Yeah,
reprints like
yeah,
galore. So like
yeah,
a lot of their cards go down to like 60 bucks, 80
yeah,
bucks, a pop. Like as compared to like Pokemon, you can get like up into the thousands, multiple thousands off of one card.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Made a good amount of money on a couple
Yeah.
Pokemon cards I sold. Um,
Feeling that Hot Toys collection.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I sold like a couple Charizards and like funded the majority of like the speakers for my home theater setup actually. For selling
Yeah.
like I think 3 cards. So it was pretty wild, but yes, yes.
Cardboard to actual
Yep,
electronics,
yep,
ladies and
yep.
gentlemen.
And like I want, and also like I kept one Charizard, like I said, because I wanted still like my base, like the
Right.
main original 3 I kept because I want to frame them. And then I still have a bunch of other ones. I don't think I'll ever get rid of them unless I will never get rid of the original 3. I'll keep those forever. Those are
Yeah.
those are not going anywhere.
Yeah, don't.
Christian Cooper, yeah, yeah, not doing that. Christian Cooper says the Batman is still for December. Yes, as we know, Batman is still slated for this month. I have a theory that the Batman is probably going to, uh, what they're going to do is probably show the blogger photos for the Bat Cycle with the Batman in them, and they're probably just going to be like released around the same time. I feel like it'd be really weird to see the blogger photos for the Bat Cycle and then like no Batman being in the photo, unless maybe they like show it like silhouette or like they show it like where they're not showing all the details of the figure.
It's go
I
time,
don't know.
Hot Toys.
Like
It's go
you
time.
gotta just drop the Batman.
I know that's what I'm saying. It's
This
go
is the
time now.
only thing I can think about is like why they haven't done the release announcement for the Bat Cycle and the Bat Signals, because they are getting ready to release the Batman
I'm
at pretty
tired of
much
this
the
game of
same time
chicken.
period.
I'm
Yeah.
tired of it.
Just
Let's
get the
go.
figure out. Yes,
Let's
please.
go.
Everybody wants
NR's
that
already
figure.
delayed there, so you guys have the runway to just go
Yes,
ahead
if that
and
figure
do
gets
it.
delayed again, that would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully. Um, okay, let's get on to the last question of the night here. What figure would you show someone to highlight your 1/6 scale collection if you could just pick one and they don't really know much about the hobby and you're just like, let me show you this because like this is what it's all about.
It is by far Battle Damage 85.
Mm,
It
yeah.
is. I can show you a Spider-Man. I can show you Gamora. I can show you a Scarlet Witch, and like you're gonna be like, "All right, that's cool. Oh my god, like it really looks like the actress, or it looks like the actor." But there's something about Iron Man that does, even for us that everybody, you can get in the chat and just say what was that first experience with that first Iron Man, and it was revolutionary. I don't think anyone in here can say that it was not revolutionary to them in some sort of fashion. To see this figure, 6 scale, light up just like in the movies, all right, have all these different compartments and slots and different hands and accessories to really sell that movie experience. And it comes like die cast with the heft and the weight. Any Iron Man really, but honestly, Battle Damage 85 for those who are just like casuals and probably seen the movies, Battle Damage 85 will win every single time. People look, well, what the hell is that? Especially you have the light up and the gauntlet, like they're like, yep, instant recognition. Outside of that, like a probably like a 4th scale Darth Vader would be something that like you could show and highlight and it'd be like, holy crap. But
Yeah.
for me, it would be my Battle Damage 85.
Yeah, I think it's a great answer, man. It's a
Yeah.
film that a lot of people are going to be familiar with. And then you, like you said, just all the intricate details of that figure and stuff like that. I think like they did a really good job highlighting the moment for that figure, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
even if you wanted to just put Tony Stark in his regular helmet, right? And just actually the Iron Man helmet, you can do that, and it lights up,
Yep.
and
And it looks
it
badass still
and
too with the
it
even with the
looks
battle
just as
damage.
badass, right? And
Yep.
just as badass. But then when you take that, let me look at it for a second. When you take that sculpt out and you really look at it from any angle, that's how I know it's perfection. Is from any angle. That's Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
From any angle,
Yep.
I can left, right. That's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, it looks really good. Looks really good.
You know, and that for me, for most people who are not familiar with this hobby or not familiar with Hot Toys and their work, the Iron Man is always going to be something I point to. As much as I would love this, hey man, look at this Spider Man. Like that's something that you have to appreciate once you get into the hobby. Once you
Yep.
know what's available there, it's the Iron Man that shows you what can be done, what the potential of these things, what is the true potential of these things. I always say this in chats when I talk to other people. One thing I'm always looking forward to from Hot Toys is if these guys can master small robotics, and if there we can get to a level of what's the word I'm looking for, like automation, automaton, if you will, like
Yeah.
in a sense of like I press this button on the controller and
Oh, you're talking about like animatronic level stuff, kind of.
almost right animatronic where I press this button and the Iron Man's like face shield goes down, right? Or I
Yeah,
press
that'd
the
be cool,
button and
man.
his arc reactor lights up, and then like the pulse, the pulse in his pulse cannons in his palms, they light up, or they get ready, they do the choo. Like I would love stuff like that. That's the next level in terms
Yeah,
of
that'd be cool.
the presentation, and also what I hear a lot of people struggle with is like that the post experience after the figure. And it's like you get the figure, you get them posed up, and you put them on the shelf. And then some people struggle with the all right, now what next? And for a lot of us, we like to capture them on the camera, get a video, and get some type of content or whatever, make a review of it, whatever have you. There's ways that you can help extend your experience with the figure, if you will. Photography, and I know sometimes that is a daunting. Like I said, it's challenging. Photography is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. You can't just take a picture and just voila, 1,000 people are gonna like it. You know why? You have to go into and again get granular about these things. Why do you collect? Right? Why are you
Yep.
passionate about this? Are you that passionate after once a week after you getting it? You forgetting about the figure? Were you really truly passionate about that piece, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you still? I've had this Spider-Man for a couple weeks, and I was like, oh yeah, somebody's reviewing it. I'm there. Didn't care who it was. I was like, okay, I'm glad it's Evil Sneal. Like, let's go. Because there's somebody I can interact with. And it's like, it wasn't like a video that was dropped and uploaded and all I can do is go in the comment. Like, that was a live stream with a
That's why I
figure
like
that
doing live
I had.
unboxings, dude. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yep.
you go and look right now. It's not a whole lot of people who have done a review on that figure specifically.
Yeah.
Not everybody has it yet. If
Yep.
if you have it, you got it from at least from probably overseas, most
Yep.
likely. If you have it right now, you got it from overseas. So a lot of those uploads and those reviews haven't happened yet for this figure, and for it to be a live review, hopefully what we did in there was help educate other people who may not know about Spider-Man, know about the Spider-Man figures, or was just curious about it, that give you some more value. Adding value is always
Yeah.
important here.
100%, dude. Yeah, like it's nice. That's what's nice about doing the live unboxings too, because then other people can speak to the figures as well. If they have them
Exactly.
or like, yeah, like I said, I don't have a ton of experience with those, so it's helpful
I couldn't wait
to
for
get
you
other
to
people.
pull out those
Yeah,
iron legs, dude. I
yeah,
was
those
like,
are wild,
when
man.
he
I'm
sees
still like,
these, because I
yeah,
saw them and I was like, these are knives. They're knives. You literally can extend them and you can poke somebody with that. They're that sharp.
you will easily cut somebody with that.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, yeah, they were very, very sharp. um, yep, true to the accessory, I guess.
For
But
real.
yeah, man, yeah. Dude, that was the last question on the list tonight. Thank you so much, bro, for joining me. I'm really glad we
Oh,
got to connect, and I'm really, really happy you came on the show, man. I really enjoyed talking to you and appreciated your insight and just the conversation. And yeah, man, I had a lot of fun. Um, Hope you did
yeah,
as
man,
well.
it's a pleasure always to get on cam and speak and talk, especially about six scale. But with the twist, it's about me, and it's also just interesting. It's just to recount all of this stuff. For me, a lot of this stuff has just happened very, very fairly recently. So,
Yeah, and reflect back on that
my
a little bit.
yeah, my memory's still kind of fresh on a lot of things, and where I was mentally or in my life. A lot of these things like it's still there, it's still fresh, and just overall, I'm just very, very happy and blessed to be here and be a part of this community. Like I shared on the stream, I want to say that was like 2 weeks ago, man. A person very important in my life passed away, and that caused a lot of like shift in my life. We had to move and a lot of different things, and puts you in it puts you in a dark place, especially the stuff we were dealing with. And like I was in a hotel like waiting for this place to open up for us. I was in a hotel for like 2 weeks, like
Damn, bro.
with our U-Haul just outside. So it's just like the anxiety, like I didn't really sleep well for like 2 weeks,
Yeah,
and so it's all of these things that I like gone through, just to land here and find you guys, discover you guys. It just makes it all the more worth it, and all the more sweet when you get on the other side of things like that. And so again, like I said in that stream, I'll say it again, like if you guys have ever come to Lake Bloomer's page on Instagram, or you've gone to over to my somewhat neglected YouTube page, and you've dropped a like or a comment, just know that you have sustained me in ways that you just do not understand, and you may actually understand. Let me not assume, but you may understand. But overall, you guys have sustained me out there in the community, and this is something I didn't know, but I had been searching for years,
yeah,
years.
that's
And I
awesome,
know
man.
me and you have a gaming background. We love games, and I've been a part of gaming communities before, and none of that has felt like this.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I used to live
again,
stream games. That's kind of what I did before for a
yeah.
year before I started. Getting like shifting my content towards this. I love gaming and stuff too, but this is just different. You know what I mean? Just a different,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, different type of community that is you can still relate to games. It's
Definitely.
very
And
cool.
still can bring in all the stuff that our, if you want to say, expertise, our experience,
Yeah,
and it's as even more so needed now, because we're going to continue to get more video game figures, and some of our fellow collectors may have no clue about this character or about this IP or about this series. And so providing a benefit, a good there is also important. I'm excited to see what the future brings in terms of video game 1/6.
yes, they need to keep going. They need to go harder on the VGM line.
Yeah,
Give us a Cal Kestis, please,
I don't
please.
understand why that is. I've been kind of waiting on that because I love BD1. Like I love
Yeah,
BD1.
great
I
droid.
would love to get him, especially like a more customized version. I know we got a BD
Yeah, we need the
version.
one from the game though. We need a
Yeah,
true BD one.
yeah, that
Yep,
was just like, a part of the, the pit crew. So,
yep,
um, really would love to get a Cal Kestis. Some more stuff from the Spider-Man video game.
yep,
Um, there's a few things that's other on the horizon as well. That Wonder Woman game that got announced like 2 years ago. Like we haven't seen anything about that, but
yep. And
it
an
it
Iron
could
Man game.
there's an Iron Man game. There's
Yeah.
also a
I think there's
Captain
a
America
I think
and
there's a
Black
Black Panther
Panther
game.
game.
Yeah.
Exactly,
There's
exactly.
all these games coming out for Marvel. Wolverine
Yeah,
game. Like
and then
they're
Wolverine.
gonna make a Wolverine figure
And
100%.
so
100%.
just you guys, you thought you got your quintessential Black Panther this year. Hold on to your hats, folks, because in 2 years you could have a one that you might be saying it's better than that one.
Yeah, or the suit is you think is
Or,
cooler or something like
or
that.
you might like the suit design from them. So
Yeah.
just hold on to your hats, folks.
Yeah. Before we go, man, do you want to let the people know what you got coming up on your channel? Do you have
Oh,
anything like on Instagram? Or I know like you said you don't like post too much stuff on YouTube as of right now, but like I know you're on streams and stuff like that. You want to plug anything before we
sure,
sign
sure.
off here?
I'll do it quick. So yes, of course, you guys can always catch me on Wednesdays, with my brothers, Lael and brother cousins and Calvin. You can catch us on Wednesday. Say What Wednesday. I'm sure we might have something good in store. We'll see if Hot Toys drops something later tonight. If not, then we'll have plenty of other things to talk about. So check us out tomorrow night, as well as you can always catch me being a participant of Figure Flex Friday on Fridays, as well as Six Scale Mafia Discord. Come on by. People are always
Yeah,
24/7
it's
in
a
there
cool
talking
Discord.
figures. So whether
Yeah, it's
you
dope.
are a chatter, on the headset, or you're just a chatter and you like to text, there's people in there always sharing six scale, and I think that's very unique because when shows go off, they go off, and when you've seen every collection tour and every stream, you know it's really hard to kind of just tap in, right? And so we're giving people an opportunity to just tap in. There's a lot of different people in there. I talk to people from Australia, Korea. It's like 24/7. So the Discord, and of course, Mafia is on Saturdays. Tales from the Dark Side. You will catch me in the chat. You catch me in the chat a lot of places, but again, those are mainly places you can catch me in. Of course, YouTube with the same name, and then of course Instagram with the same name, and that is mainly where I'm at. So if you ever want to like shoot a message or something, like I am very fast and very quick on Instagram. I get those notifications because I'm always usually on my phone for something. So
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, dope.
Instagram, YouTube, and of course the streams we have throughout the week. So thank you again, Sneaker. I'm
Oh, for sure, bro.
appreciative of you thinking of me. I always say that in every stream that people bring me on because I truly mean that. It's just
Yeah,
a
man.
million thousands of other people out there, and for you to consider me and to think of me and then want me to be a part of your show, I take that with the utmost respect and honor. So I
Yeah,
hope we
for
did a
sure,
good
bro.
one tonight. And
Oh no, dude, it
man,
was really
thank
good,
you
man. I
so
really
much.
appreciate. Yeah, dude. Like for not being in the game for very long, just like me, I've been in over a little over a year, and just like, that goes both ways, right? Like not only me asking you, but just like a lot of people don't know me, and I ask them, and they come onto the show, and I'm really grateful for that as well. So it
Hmm.
goes, I reciprocate everything you said on that front for sure. So yeah, really appreciated having you on, man.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Chat, thank you all so much as well. You guys always keep the show rolling. It's always nice bringing in and incorporating stuff from chat. You guys know I love doing that as well. So thank you all. As far as my channel goes, like I said earlier, like at the beginning of the show, I'm nearing 500 subs. There's going to be a couple of giveaways at that point. One's a pretty big giveaway, but I'm saving that until I start to get closer. But please spread the word to help me get to 500 subs. I would really appreciate that. We are getting so close. It's been really nice. We're only starting like since June and almost getting 500 subs. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Like the growth and just like that's been just really,
Oh,
really
you blowing up
awesome.
like Joey. I don't know if anybody's gonna blow up like Joey,
I
but
don't think I'm gonna blow up like Joey,
woo,
but
that
yeah.
man.
So it's been yeah, it's just been a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm really really happy about that. Uh, uh, Wednesday, I don't think we're doing like I know you do like say what Wednesdays. I think we usually go on like I think you guys go on what 7:30 Central. I think like
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's like 6 o'clock my time in Cali. So yeah,
yeah, gotcha. Okay,
around there.
just say we usually go on a little bit later. I think for Wolfpack Wednesdays, I'm always on there on the Jedi Knights Watch channel on Wednesdays, but I don't think
Yeah.
there's gonna be one this week. I think we may not have one on Wednesday, but I might do a stream. It's either gonna be Wednesday night. I haven't fully decided. It's either gonna be Wednesday night or potentially Friday night. I'm gonna do
Mm.
another Revenge of the Sixth episode, and the topic is gonna be video games in 1/6. So
Oh
that's the
man.
next one on the docket.
Yes.
um,
I will be
yeah.
there.
So usually, like that show is kind of like I wanted to do another live stream outside of the collector tour.
Hmm.
Um, so Revenge of the Six is kind of like my like a rebrand of a stream that I used to do that was outside of it.
Hmm.
Where basically we do a one topic. So we pick a topic, it's gonna be video games. We're gonna talk about that for however long, whatever happens. And then like
Hmm.
really the show is like a chat and panel driven show. So we
Hmm.
just hang out and whatever ends up coming up, we end up talking about just whatever ends up happening for the remainder of the time after we're through our topic. So it's a lot of fun. I usually post a little blurb on Instagram, like if you want to ask questions ahead of time to bring up on the show, but usually people end up just posting them in the chat. And it's been a fun show. I'm 2 episodes in. If you want to see how the show is, you guys can always go check out a couple of the replays for that. It's a lot of fun. So I'll be doing that show at some point this week. And then I think that's pretty much like all I got going on right now. I'm trying to think of potentially doing some Christmas stuff. I might do a couple Christmas videos. But I don't, yeah, it's hard to come up with some ideas there. But yeah, so, and then I'll
Yeah.
find another person for the collector tour. I got some other people in line. So, yeah, man, there's a lot going on, but trying to keep it rolling going into the holidays.
Yeah,
Um,
it's only gonna get more crazier. I mean, we
yeah,
got a little stretch that I'm sure the Hot Toys is gonna pick up right before they go on and their holiday season for real over there in China. So we know that Chinese New Year is fastly approaching. So just knowing how they work, this is their crunch time. They're crunching everything out before they are done for. I think they go on break for like 2 months, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
So they're
that's
going to be
like the
squeezing
longest
stuff out.
celebration. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be stuff they're gonna squeeze out. I truly believe that.
Yep, yep. Brick says, great show, guys. Tristan says, great show. Collection Obsession says, gosh, you're at 442 already. I bet you get to 500 by next week. Dude, that would be awesome. I want to do this planned giveaway kind of around like the holidays, Christmas time. So would be an awesome Christmas present for somebody. That information, probably a little bit after I hit 450-ish, 460-ish is when I'm going to talk about the giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Hope everybody has a great rest of the night. Peace.